So, good afternoon, team. Thanks for being here. Let's officially begin our discussion today to plan our group awareness project. As we know, this is a part of SDG 8, and our specific focus is on the target 8.5, which aims to ensure decent work and equal pay for all, especially youth and vulnerable workers. We have chosen to focus on gig workers in Malaysia, particularly those working without job security, healthcare, or social protection. Today, we'll go through our objectives, audience, proposed activities, timelines, and divide our tasks. Let's begin with the project objective. Harold, could you start?
Sure, Pingsen. The core purpose of our project is to create awareness, especially among young Malaysians, about the real conditions faced by gig workers. Now, a lot of us know someone who works part-time with probably Grab, Foodpanda, Shopee, or even freelancers online. While these jobs offer flexibility, the reality is that most of these workers have no formal contracts, or they doesn't have EPF or SOCSO, and even no access to paid medical leave or employment benefits. I think they're treated more like independent vendors than employees, which sounds okay until they fall sick or get into an accident or need long-term financial security. That's my point of view.
Yes, exactly. I agree with Aaron. And I think many students don't even realize that gig workers is often seen as just a side hustle or quick way to earn money. But once you start depending on it full time, the downsides become obvious, especially the lack of long-term protections. Our role is to help people look beyond the flexibility and understand the risks.
And let's not forget the this issue doesn't just affect students. Many gig workers, single parent, breadwinners, and even older adults who don't have the luxury of permanent job. So our campaign shouldn't just focus on students trying to earn side income. We need to show that this affect real life and real families that could make our message more relatable and compassionate. Compassionate. Yeah.
Right, I agree on that. Now, gig work has grown rapidly in Malaysia, but our laws just haven't managed to keep up yet. Now, these workers, they contribute to the economy, yet they are often excluded from even basic employment protections.
Okay, I totally agree with that. I guess we could just summarize our project objectives as firstly, we would raise awareness about the lack of security in gig work. Secondly, we would educate our audience about the hidden consequences, like there's no retirement savings, unstable income, and lack of healthcare. And third objective should be we promote empathy and encourage responsible platform use, such as tipping and choosing ethical companies. And last objective, we will inspire soft advocacy, things like signing a petition, joining discussions, or amplifying gig worker voices. So are we all aligned on these objectives?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
it sounds
Yes, I
good.
agree.
Okay, great. Now let's define our target audience. Ikwan?
Okay, so for the target audience, I think our primary audience is students and fresh graduates, roughly between 18 and 30 years old. Many of them are already participated in the gig economy, whether it's food delivery, freelance design, tutoring, or part-time jobs. They are all digital native, active on TikToks, Instagram, and YouTube. So they are all reachable through visual content and social media storytelling.
I think we should also slightly expand that to include young working adults up to 35. Because some of them are gig workers by choice, others because they have no better option. So either way, they are facing similar challenges and they might be more aware of financial realities. So they'll connect with our message from different angle.
Yes, and from my point of view, from what I see, is that even students who aren't working yet might even consider working in the gig industry in the near future. So I think it's better if we prepare them early, so that because I think they should know what to expect and not just what looks attractive on the surface only.
Sorry, but I get question. Should we also target gig workers themselves as part of our audience?
I personally don't think they need awareness because they are already living it, but we should definitely involve them as contributors, as their life experiences are what will make our campaign authentic.
I think to make it more interesting, maybe we can include their voices in our video, even if it's anonymous or audio only, as long as it's genuinely will carry its own weight.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that's a good idea. So, our primary audience should be youth and young adults within the age of 18 to 35, while gig workers will be our storytellers and contributors, not the target audience. So, all right, let's move on to activity planning. Danish?
Sure. We have outlined four core activities. The first one is a short awareness video featuring interview with 2 to 3 gig workers. Second is a webinar with a labor expert or NGO representative. Third one is a series of social media infographic to explain key fact and data. And lastly is an online petition that promotes better protection policies. Each of these target different engagement type, emotional impact, educational content, a shareable visual, and also call to action. Right, Harold?
Yes, I totally agree on that. I think the video is definitely our anchor. Now, if we manage to get compelling real life interviews that are short but honest, I'm sure that people will connect emotionally. Even if it's just 1 to 2 minutes per person, I think the message will still land harder than statistics alone.
Hmm. Yes, I agree with Harold. I think we can keep it simple. Shoot with phones, subtitle everything, and focus on the message. Raw content often feels more real, I think. We can also add a title like I work 10 hours a day but still have no insurance. That make people stop scrolling, I think.
And I also suggest we include data overlays, like 80% of the gig workers in Malaysia don't have EPF. It it gives context without boring people.
That's a really good, excellent idea. Next, I think, how about the the webinar activity?
Right. As for the webinar, I suggest that we keep it to 45 minutes max, and one speaker from labor rights background, another one should be a gig worker, and then we should have one moderator, maybe one of us. We can also frame it like what you should know before joining the gig economy as our webinar title.
And we can issue e-certificate too, right? Always good for student participation, don't you think?
Yes, I agree with you both. I think let's aim to proceed in week 4 after the video and some infographics posts have already raised interest, I think.
I think that's perfect. Speaking of infographics, what's the plan?
Okay, so my plan for infographics is I will design at least 5 infographics. The topics could be what is gig work. Then the second topic will be gig versus formal employment, benefits comparison. And the third topic will be real quotes from workers. The fourth will be stats on worker welfare and protection. And the last one will be what the public can do, like supporting ethical platforms.
Can I suggest that we just keep them clean and readable, because I think too much text can turn people off.
Yeah, that's true. How about the petition?
Oh, for the petition, I think we should launch it after the webinar. Once people have emotional and factual content, then they'll care enough to support.
I can draft it something simple but clear, like we urge policymakers and platforms to provide fair protections for gig workers in Malaysia.
Yeah, totally agreed with that. I think maybe we can also set like a petition goal. How about 1,000 signatures?
It's ambitious, but with the right push. And if we ask student pages to share it, we could hit it, I think.
From what I see, even if we fall short, it still shows collective action. Now, the number matters less than the awareness itself.
Okay, all right. I think we'll proceed with that. And here will be our timeline. So on the first week, we will do the interview with the gig workers and begin the speaker outreach. Second week, we'll edit the video and begin the infographic designs. Third week, we'll launch the video and start our infographic rollout. Fourth week, we'll host the webinar and launch our petition. And the last week, we will gather feedback and prepare for the final impact report. Is everyone clear with this?
Yes,
Yes.
sound good.
Okay, so for the task delegation, Harold will be in charge of the interview coordination and video editing. IQHWAN will in charge for the infographic designs, petition writing, and social media templates. DANISH would in charge of webinar planning and speaker outreach, where for myself, I'll do the timeline oversight, progress tracking, and social media posting. Anything else we should add?
Actually, how do we make sure our campaign stands out? Because there are so many awareness projects happening out there.
Okay, from my point of view, I think let's add some interactive content like polls on Instagram stories or short quizzes like could you survive as a gig workers? I think it's fun but also eye opening.
Yes, and maybe during the excuse me. Yes, and maybe during the webinar, we can do like a mini quiz also, which can keep the audience engaged.
That's a very good thinking from you all. IQHWAN, can you handle that?
Sure, no problem. I will draft ideas this weekend.
So, should we create a hashtag?
Definitely. How about hashtag gig with dignity?
Yes, I like it. It's short, memorable, meaningful, and I think it's catchy.
Okay. So I think we'll use Gig with Dignity across all platform. Lastly, how will we measure our success for this activity?
I think we can track video views, like share and petition signatures and webinar attendance.
Yes, I can also create a feedback form after the webinar. Just a few questions to reflect the impacts, I think.
Sure, that's great. It will also help with our final report, where both the numbers and the human responses play a very big role.
Okay, that's very good. So now we already have a clean timeline. Activities that balance emotion, data, and action. We have created a hashtag as well, a signature goal, and our feedback system. And we have defined roles for all of us. So right now, let's commit to our weekly updates, quick check-ins on what SHAP should do. Last but not least, thanks everyone. Thanks for coming today, and let's make this campaign one that really matters. So I think that will be the end for our meeting. Thanks for joining today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Everyone.